Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple style of hair bow. Just one like this that has a clip on the back that you can either clip directly into the hair or onto a headband. And the supplies you're going to need is, for this style I like to use 2 of a similar size ribbon. You can use the same color or you can use different colors, and then I have 1 of a little bit thinner ribbon, and that's going to be for the knot in the middle. And then you need a 3/8 inch ribbon that's going to go on the alligator clip for the back. You'll also need some sort of heat setting tool. I just use a lighter, a couple of alligator clips, some embroidery thread, scissors, and a hot glue gun. And the first thing you're going to do is take the ribbon that you want to use for the bottom color, which is the yellow on this bow, and I'm going to use the pink. And I never measure because it's always different, so what I do is I start with this color and I make 1 loop with the tail hanging down and make the loop whatever size you're going to want it to be whenever it's finished. Loop it over again to the other side. Make it about the even same size. Loop it under again, and then back over the top 1 more time. Make sure they're all equal sizes and leave a tail hanging down here. And then you take 1 of your alligator clips and you're going to clip it in the middle to hold it, and then cut off the excess. And next, you're going to take a length of your embroidery thread, slide it under. I like to overlap over the top and then flip it over and tie it on the back. It seems to hold better that way. You're just going to tie in a knot and pull it slowly because sometimes you need to adjust. And then I flip it over. At this point you can probably remove the clip and, oh nope, it came undone. So just tighten it again. And then I like to flip it over and tie a knot on this side too. Then you can remove the clip, then look at it and adjust it wherever you see that it might need it to make them even. That looks pretty decent. Okay, don't cut your strings yet because you'll use them in a minute. But then I like to cut the tails off at this point. Take your lighter or other heat setting tool and set the ends so that they don't fray. And then you're going to take the color that you want to be on top, which is the light blue on this one, and you're going to do the same thing again. Only this time make the loop a little bit smaller so that it's a smaller width than the bottom ribbon. Loop it over with a tail left, under, over again, and under again. Flip it in place. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Flip your excess. And then once again, take some embroidery thread. And tie this one off the same way that you did the first one. takes a little bit of practice to get the tying right, but the good thing is that you can untie it and start over if you don't like the way it looks. Okay, it's pretty good. It's a little uneven on the right, so I'm going to move the thread over a little to even it out. That looks good. And then these threads you can clip. And again, trim your ends so that you can heat set them. You want to be careful because it burns really fast and you could melt the whole thing if you're not careful. Okay, more last minute adjusting. And the next thing we're going to do is attach this to the bigger bow. I put a dot of hot glue right in the middle, not too much, and then just set it right in the middle. Let it sit for a couple seconds, and then take your strings that you left that were on the bigger bow and tie it just to secure it so that it's not going to come off. Then you can trim these threads because we're done with them. Make sure that you like the way that it looks. It looks pretty good. And the last thing we're going to do in the bow is make the knot for the middle, which is very easy. Cut a small length of your third ribbon, cross it in half, kind of like the awareness ribbons. Put one underneath and pull it to where you have a knot in the middle. Don't pull it too tight, but just enough so that it makes a nice knot and get the ends nice and flat. Then put a small dot of glue right in the middle. Center it on top. Pull it around and hold it for just a few seconds. Then all you do is flip it around to the back, trim one end, just a little bit of hot glue, and press it down, and then do the same thing with the other end. Very hot. And there's your bow. The last thing we need to do is attach our alligator clip to the back. And what I like to do first is cut a length of this ribbon, your 3/8 inch ribbon, the same length as the clip. Heat set the ends. And then attach it to this with your hot glue. I like to do this because then you don't have to hold it open while you're trying to center it on the bow. Since there's a slot in the middle, the glue leaks through. So you want to hold it open when you put the glue on. And then just quickly attach the ribbon. You have to work quick with hot glue. Should be good. Put a little bit more on the top. Okay, and so then you have it covered in ribbon and you don't have to hold it open. And then the next thing I do is look at the back and kind of center it on there and see where I think it's going to fit best so that I know where to place it. That looks pretty good. So then I'm going to put hot glue over the length of the clip and place it onto the bow right in the middle. Hold it for a few seconds, and your clip is attached, and you have your bow. And there are lots of other techniques you can do to make different styles of bows. This is just a really simple one that I kind of started out with. You can start improvising after you get the basics down and just find what looks good to you, and you can make your own bows.